the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
The Flash is an action-adventure fantasy movie from DC Universe. The cast consists of Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, and Sasha Calle. The director's Andy Muschietti, and he's done the remakes of the It movies. Worlds collide in The Flash when Barry uses his superpowers to travel back in time in order to change the events of the past. But when his attempt to save his family inadvertently alters the future, Barry becomes trapped in a reality in which General Zod has returned, threatening annihilation, and there are no superheroes to turn to. That is, unless Barry can coax a very different Batman out of retirement and rescue an imprisoned Kryptonian, albeit not the one that he's looking for, ultimately to save the world that he is in and return to the future that he knows. Barry's only hope is to race for his life, but will making the ultimate sacrifice be enough to reset the universe? So what attracted me to this movie was I always like DC and Marvel stuff, like Marvel Comics. And one of my favorite characters in the DC universe, besides Superman, is The Flash. I've always liked his skill set or his powers. And honestly, Justice League, the movies, the DC Universe movies, have basically fallen short for me. And I was a little bit worried watching this movie. But DC's animated universe has actually been better for the Flash, especially if you're gonna watch this movie. Maybe you should watch Flashpoint before watching this to kind of get like a feel for how this movie goes. So basically, like I told you, if you watch Flashpoint, it kind of goes, you go back in time, and basically what he does is to save his mother from dying. So, in doing so, when he tries to go back to his reality, things change. And then he has to basically do other things to change it back to the way it was. So, in my opinion, I thought Ezra Miller did an incredible job in this movie. And I know that Ezra Miller is having his problems, with the law and all that other stuff and the allegations that he's going through. But honestly, with all that apart, I thought he did an incredible job in this movie. And especially that he basically played two different Barry Allens in this movie. And I thought he killed it. It's not the actual Flash like you get from the comics, but he does. I don't know. He just plays it right. I thought that's a good Flash that he played, and I thought it was awesome bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman. I thought that was a great touch. I love the old Batman movies, and I thought, what a great way to send this guy off and bringing him back into these movies. And basically mixing all these universes back together. Now, like I said before, the story to this movie is different. And basically, you don't know who the villain is, or you think you don't know who the villain is until the end of the movie. And I thought it was a good touch because you're going through this whole thing and you don't know exactly who's going to be the main bad guy. And I thought how they wrote this movie and, including everything, I thought it was well thought of planning by DC when they actually put this movie into production. It kind of sucks that you do a movie like this and now you're basically shutting it down for James Gunn's universe, because I thought they did a pretty good job with the storytelling. Now, obviously, if you've seen the other Batmans, Michael Keaton's wardrobe was on point. Also, the Flash's wardrobe was also great. And how they made Supergirl look, I thought she looked really good. Yeah, it was different from her in the comics, not having the blonde hair. But honestly, I could do without that. I understand it's a different universe, so it's different things. And, I think, they picked a good person to play her, though I would have wanted more from her. I thought for the most part, most of the special effects were fine. But the special effects, when it got to basically the the Speed Force and where he is actually learning how to get back in time and working the whole time thing, it just looked too computerized, too pixelated. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it just didn't look real enough. It just looked too computerized. And I think that was a big shortcoming, especially that this movie has been delayed so long and you still have this shortcoming. There's a huge Easter egg at the end of the movie. Well, sorry, multiple huge Easter eggs at the end of the movie. And they're computerized people, just to throw it out there. And it doesn't look good. You know, I got hyped up for who the people were, but they just didn't look good. And I found that like one of the shortcomings of the film. One of the best things about the film, I thought, was the comedy. I thought the comedy was awesome. It made it feel like you knew, like they knew they were in a movie. They knew that they were doing stuff like that. So it wasn't like they were breaking the fourth wall, but they kind of knew that their job was to like make you laugh. I don't know. I just found it comical. It was funnier than I was expecting, basically. Yeah, and like I said, one of the worst things that I found was, obviously, like I told you, the CGI, the computer animation for some of the things just didn't look good, like I said before. And then the other thing is that running that Barry does, you know, man, it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good on screen. I understand it's part of the universe and that's how he runs or whatever. But man, it just looks bad. It looks bad. Another thing is, you bring in Michael Keaton, and I know I'm gonna spoil this, but you show the Batmobile and you don't pay off showing the Batmobile. He doesn't even use it. And I would have wanted him to use it one last time, in my opinion. Now, would I recommend the movie? Absolutely. I think you guys should go and check it out. I think it's a phenomenal film. It's not one of the best of the year. Like, I would definitely tell you to go watch Spider-Man before you watch this one. But it's definitely a good movie, I think, to close off. You know, DC was having good ideas. But, you know, hey, things happen and whatever. But yeah, definitely go check this movie out in the theater. I would definitely recommend it. And take the kids. There are a lot of bad words if you're going to take the kids. And that was weird. That was weird watching, you know, especially in a DC movie. But I guess it's just part of the universe or how they were making it. Well, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think about the movie. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching, and God bless.